stars, Lou Lombardi, once again back at you to help you awaken that rock star within. Guys, I want to tell you something that happened to me. I had one of the most screwed up, brutally insane, everything that could go wrong kind of few days last week, and I want to share it with you because this happens sometimes, all right? We had this big event planned Friday night. Benefit for a local nonprofit organization, the Pittsburgh Passion. I'd like to send a shout out to the Pittsburgh Passion, and I was really excited about it. My publicist and I have been working on this for a couple of months, and as the event neared, things started to completely fall apart. Okay, there were some disagreements with the venue owner. Sponsors began to back out. People were complaining about the ticket prices. The event was on Friday. Thursday night we had a band rehearsal and a band meeting, and the guys in the band sort of like, you know, voiced some opinions of disagreement about some of the things that I was doing, which I didn't want to hear. Admittedly, none of us likes criticism, right? Okay, but they had some good points. And so I had to sort of take all that in, okay? In the middle of all of this, my stepmom fell down and broke her hip. Her and my dad are like in their early 70s, so it was kind of a scary situation. But my dad had to be there for her, so I had to run in and I had to take care of his businesses. Even though I had scheduled time to concentrate on getting this event together, I had to go. I had to run in. You know, family's family. You know, Italian family. You got to take care of mama and papa. You know what I'm saying? So I had to be there for all of that. So a lot of stress is coming down on me. There's a lot of frustration. Things, like I said, aren't going exactly right. Now, I had some choices here. I could have become terribly despondent and walked in there Friday night with my head hung low or my head between my knees and saying, you know, this is a total screw up. I made this mistake. I made that mistake. I made this mistake. Or I could have walked in there like a boss and said, this is what we're doing. It's going to be a great gig and we're going to rock. I chose the latter. I said, we're going to rock this MF, or we're going to totally burn the place down. I don't care what happens. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to put 150% into my show, and we're going to rock it. Okay? And that's exactly what I did. And it turned out to be freaking fantastic. We had a great turnout for the show, number one. But I believe that my attitude, my sort of taking the bull by the horns, taking leadership in the situation and leading by example, say, hey, we're just going to rock it, actually made everything go better. People sort of fell in line in the sense that everybody came in with a good attitude. We played a great show. It went very, very well. We got a lot of compliments. Even though another thing that I didn't tell you guys about was the female singer that we have in the band wasn't able to perform the gig, so I had to do the whole vocal thing myself. And then, one more thing that went wrong. Thursday night before the gig, my heat goes out in my house, so I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning freezing. I never get back to bed, so I'm working like 3 hours of sleep. And it just goes to show you, when you set up and you're going to show up and you're going to make it happen, you are determined you can do it. You know, sometimes outside circumstances happen that challenge us and we have nothing to do about it. Remember, guys, I've talked about this before. I've talked about this on my podcast, too. You know, you can be like, have total intention. You can have total integrity. You can be looking at exactly where you want to go, be totally focused on it, but you're interacting with the rest of the world, and some of those people don't share the exact same vision you do, or they have other of their own agendas. It's not that they're bad people. It's just they want to do what they want to do, too. So sometimes we bump and we clash, you know, but if I would have lost it, if I'd have walked in there despondent, or if I'd lost my temper, I would have cleared the room. It would have been the end of it, and it would have been a total crash and burn. And I was determined to not let that happen. I acknowledged how I felt to myself. I said, well, you know, this isn't going the way I want. I'm frustrated. What I really want to do right now is curl up in a ball and just say, forget it. What I really want to do right now is take a chair and throw that freaking door over there. I didn't do any of that stuff. But I did allow my feelings. I acknowledged them, and I just let them be and said, this is just where I am, and then I made a choice. You guys can do the same thing. I hope the story gave you some point of reference, something that you can relate to, because this happens so many times, especially when you were trying to go big. I had a guy tell me one time, he says, like, Lou, he said, if you're going to crash and burn, he says, make sure you hit the wall at 300 miles an hour. And that was exactly what I was planning on doing. I figured if this thing's going down, we're just going down full frickin' throttle. It did not go down. It rocked. It kicked ass. We raised money. We had a great event. People came out, partied, had a total blast, and we garnered several new fans. We grew the mailing list probably by about 60, 70 people or so. So it was really exciting. It was a good time, and it all hinged on the choices that I made as a leader. Several lessons in this video, guys. You got to make choices as a leader. Sometimes shit goes off the rails. What are you going to do? You have the right attitude. You got to return to focus. I talked in a previous video about walking on water. That's kind of what I was doing. And I also had to remind myself that, like, I can talk the talk in a video, but can I walk the walk? And I had to walk the walk. It wasn't easy, but it happened, and we made it work out. My name is Lou Lombardi, guys. I appreciate you listening to this. Let me share my story with you. Please check out the links below. I'll see you guys in the next video.